Certainly first welcome all of you to to the Richmond Board of Commissioners chambers, and those voices. For those who know what else I do, my other day job, I often tell my congregation that when there's, for example, a baby crying and someone gets a little bit annoyed, I always remember what I heard an elderly pastor say once: as long as there are crying babies, the church has a future. So, yeah, that's okay. Let's begin with the invocation, and my dear friend, the former pastor of the First Baptist Church, and as he and I like to look at each other in meetings and smile and say, what, Bill? The other First Baptist Church.
Yes, it depends on who's introducing, indeed.
Bless you, my friend.
Love you, my friend.
Love you also, Bill.
Thank you.
We've got this class.
Let's pray together. Father, those voices that we hear from children are indeed welcome voices, because just as the church has a future when you hear them cry or talk, community also has a future when we hear them talk and their excitement comes out. And sometimes as we get older, we forget the importance of excitement and celebration, and maybe tonight will just bring us back to a place where we need to celebrate everything, because life is entirely too short not to. I thank you for this community, and I am grateful that I am a citizen of this community. God, I am a transplant, and it was a great day when you called me and my family here to live in Richmond and in Madison County. And God, I pray today for our commissioners, for who they are, what they do. The jobs that they have are big jobs, and yet they have lives outside this particular entity. And I know that they have challenges. Sometimes they go through grief. Often they go through stress. And I pray that they would feel the power of your presence in every way, and that those of us who work with them, that we would be very careful to affirm them and bless them, even sometimes when people disagree, that they would just still be in prayer. Scripture encourages us to be in prayer for those that are in roles of authority. And I thank you for each and every one of them. And it is a pleasure to serve with them. And tonight, oh God, we pray that you would guide this meeting. And it's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Bill. Another of our joys for this evening's meeting, we have Ms. Lena Wilson's class from the Madison Kindergarten Academy. I have the opportunity occasionally to go out and visit with the children on some of their special days, and it always warms my heart when I either walk down the hall going to a classroom, or when I step into one of their classrooms and they, with their inside voice, they say, "It's the mayor." Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Ms. Wilson, if you'll come, please, and bring the class here, if that's, we'll follow your direction. Good evening.
We have Mrs. Barney's class also, so we
Wonderful.
invited the whole Seahorse team, so we have way more today.
Outstanding. Yeah, some familiar faces, yeah. Yes, indeed.
I love it.
Yes, if you'll give us the instruction, we'll follow your instruction.
Please stand. As you guys turn, the flag is behind Dr. White. Ready?
Thank you, children. Thank you.
Now they have, say, you may sit. You may sit. Now they have a special thing that they do with Coach Young.
Yes.
In her class, so she's gonna lead that.
All right.
Awesome. Let's give them another big hand. So I am the physical education teacher at Madison Kindergarten Academy, and I love to teach the kiddos how when things are hard, we gotta push through. Even as adults, when things are hard, and things are often hard, we have to push through. So we do a little mantra during PE at the end of each PE class, and also when they're like taking a test or something like that, they can say it in their mind. So I'm gonna kind of like bend down like this, and y'all ready to do it? Yeah! All right. What if it's too hard? I'm gonna push through. What if it's too tough? I'm gonna push through. What if it's too rough? I'm gonna push through. What if you're too young? That's not true. What if you're not good enough? That's not true. I believe in you. Chin up. Why? I can do anything I put my mind to. And they really can do anything they put their mind to. Let's give them a
I want you to tell them thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Wilson.
Turn around and wave.
We'll see you again soon.
Blow kisses. Okay, follow, follow. Follow, follow.
Thank you, Miss Gwen.
You know,
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and thank you all. Thanks to all the parents and all of the adults who've come to support the children tonight.
that's perfect.
I don't know why she wanted to stay for this meeting.
You know, go back up. Look, I ain't going.
And I said that perhaps with a little bit of humor, but I mean that very seriously. That gives us hope when we see the children learning such things and presenting themselves and performing in such a way. That gives us hope. It gives us respite from some of the other things that flood the media every day. It lets us know there's some hope. All right. We'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Brewer,
Here.
Commissioner Cole,
Here.
Commissioner Goble,
Here.
Commissioner Newby,
Here.
Mayor Blythe.
Here, thank you. We have a few presentations tonight. First, Elizabeth, I need to take my glasses off. This is the, and let me mention, please, if there are those who would like a copy of tonight's agenda, they're always in the little pocket right there on the railing. This is a proclamation. Whereas May 20th, 2023 is the 13th annual Kids to Parks Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the third Saturday of May. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit local parks, public lands, and waters. And whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the issues of childhood obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and the outdoors. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will recognize the importance of recreating responsibly while enjoying the benefits of the outdoors. Now, therefore, I, Robert Blythe, Mayor of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim May 20th of 2023 as Kids to Parks Day in Richmond, and encourage all citizens to take the children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park. Elizabeth Foster's here from our Richmond Parks Department, and Elizabeth, I want to present this to you, and if you'd like to sort of spec us up a bit on what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we are doing Kids to Park Day on May 20th. We're doing it at Lake Reba. We do take it to heart, trying to showcase what our parks do. So at Lake Reba, we're showing all of the different things that you can do by different stations. If you come and participate, you'll even get a free kids Kona. So we're hoping to get a lot of people out. This is our second year doing it in this manner. We have different organizations that are partnered with us, and we're really excited.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate all that they do all during the year also. And, Lisa, did I leave my step out home? We just want to announce that. Mandy, is she here? Yes. I'm sorry.
No, it's not a proclamation. She's just help promoting it. Yep.
I saw the flyer in my packet. Tell us about Stamp Out Hunger.
Stamp Out Hunger is a nationwide food drive that happens with your letter carriers. That is this Saturday. Giving has never been easier, and all you have to do is just put out a bag of food next to your mailbox, and the letter carrier will pick it up this Saturday. All the food given will stay here in Madison County. It will benefit God's Outreach, Madison County Food Bank, and other food feeding organizations. We're really excited about it. With holiday donations start to kind of dwindle, we start getting a little low. This will be a great boost for us, and it's coming at a very timely time. We're really excited to see what this county will do. Last year was amazing, and I think it's going to be even bigger this year.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And let me encourage us on this coming Saturday, second Saturday in May, you just hang it on the mailbox. Just hang it, put it in a plastic bag, and just hang it on the mailbox. The mail carriers will get it to the right place. It's always a wonderful time when you hear the report, the number of pounds and so on, the number of cans of food that are contributed on that day. So thank you very much for what you do. Thanks to all the volunteers also. These don't just, I don't know if any of you have ever heard the expression. When I was growing up, the use of the word up was really strange. But things don't just up and happen. And it takes volunteers, it takes people to make these things happen, to feed those who are hungry. So we're grateful for what you do. God bless you.
Mayor.
Yes. Sure. She's a big deal.
These pictures just don't happen.
That's right. Just up and happen.
Thank you.
It reminds me of the time when I was in senior English at Madison High School, and I had Ms. Verna Dunbar as our teacher. I don't know if anybody remembers her or not, but we were discussing action verbs. And she'd read a sentence, and she asked the young man, now what is the verb in that? And the verb was is. And she said, and what kind of verb is it? And he said, an action verb. And she looked at us. She said, "Well, class, I know how to jump and I know how to run, but somebody get up and show me how to is." Okay. That was 45, almost 50 years ago. Woo. Going to ask, let's see, Jamie Carper, the YMCA. You'll come, please. This proclamation concerns Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. I tell you, the voting constituency is getting younger by the week. Child Care Aware of America Provider Appreciation Day. Whereas Child Care Aware of America and other organizations nationwide are recognizing child care providers on this day, and whereas child care provides a safe, nurturing place for the enrichment and development of millions of children nationwide and is a vital force in our economy, and whereas the pandemic illuminated how indispensable child care providers are for the well-being and economic security of Kentucky young children, families, and communities. Whereas child care programs, which are mostly small businesses, run and staffed predominantly by women, are still recovering from health and financial hardships stemming from the pandemic while they have continued to meet the needs of families. And whereas Kentucky recognizes that child care has been a lifeline for families, communities, and the economy, and as such, has provided much-needed support to providers to help sustain the viability of child care. And whereas our future depends on the quality of the early childhood experiences provided to young children today, support for high-quality child care represents a worthy commitment to our children's future. Now, therefore, I, Robert Blythe, Mayor of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim May 12, 2023 as Provider Appreciation Day in Richmond, and urge all citizens to recognize child care providers for their very important work. Present this to you first of all. And if you would, just give us a few words, please.
It's a little short. So Provider Appreciation Day was started in 1996 by a group of volunteers in New Jersey. Child care providers are a vital asset to our community as they work to keep our children safe, nurture the curiosity, and prepare them for a lifetime of learning and growth. As partners, we can join to not only thank our providers, but also aid them in the fight for the legislative changes that we need to see within our child care field. As someone who values the important contributions of child care providers within our community, I would like to thank you for officially recognizing it with a proclamation.
I'm certain that the past couple of years or so have really taught us a few things and made us appreciate some things. Absolutely. So thank you for what you do. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Yes, indeed. Finish your picture. Hold on just a moment, please. Because I think we need Lisa. Yes, indeed. Usually I do this with the other children when I'm at the school. But what's his name?
Cannon Carter.
Cannon Carter. All right. Cannon, and this is the speech I always give. Because the mayor gets really busy sometimes, gets a little tired and needs some help. Today, I'm going to make you our junior mayor. And all you have to do is find somebody you can be nice to. Can you do that? Outstanding. Thank you. Let's see, let me get my letter. His letters. Yes, thank you. A lot of reasons tonight why I love our city and why Richmond is what she is. This next presentation, Troy Baxter, if you'll come forward, please. We want to join with our friends at what we used to know as Exide and Uwasa Exide, now Intersys. Might recall, when was that? A couple of years ago now, when we were out, was it 175,000 square feet, 150? 195,000 square feet. That was a building that was added to the operation of Intersys here in Richmond. Just a magnificent operation that's going on and serving, I think, out of our operation here, 70% of the country in certain sales. 78%. 78%. So from Richmond, that makes us proud. Recently, and Troy, you can give further detail if you will, but recently, the group here from Richmond traveled to Washington, D.C., where our Richmond operation of Intersys was awarded the 2023 Better Practice Award due to their achievements in waste reduction through their lean manufacturing efforts. The summit was put on by the United States Department of Energy, and only a few plants out of hundreds received this award. So we are honored to be recognized in this way. Troy puts it that it's another great win for Intersys and for the city of Richmond. Troy Baxter from Intersys of Richmond. And there are a couple of things I want to do, but one in particular, although I usually do this for persons who are at least 100, I want to give you a key to the city. We're grateful for what Intersys does for Richmond, and that by the action I just mentioned, you've demonstrated that you plan to be here for a while. We're so grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you for being you also, Troy.
Well, I just want to say we are so proud to be part of the city of Richmond. And one thing that was unique about the award that we won and that we were presented is we were different from the other companies in that the projects that we were awarded for were actually led and sponsored by our own team members. So most of the other companies had company sponsored initiatives, but ours were led by our team members. Two in particular, one was cardboard reusage, which actually is saving us close to $20,000 a year. But the big one was they did a big campus-wide project on plastic reduction. So we were throwing away a lot of plastic. They found a way to eliminate that, and that resulted in bottom line savings of over $100,000 a year. So we're really proud of that because the majority of our employees are based here in Richmond, and it just goes to show the power and ingenuity of the workforce that we have here. We're really proud to be here. Thank you.
We have the minutes from our regular meeting held April 25, 6 p.m. meeting, and our special call workshop meeting held April 27 at 12 noon. We had a chance to review those. May we have a motion, please bring the floor for approval.
I move.
Commissioner
Second.
Commissioner Goebel. Is there any discussion, question about any of them? There being none, Madam Clerk,
Jack.
please. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goebel,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. We have ordinance 23-15, an ordinance of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, changing the zoning classification for property at 416 North Second Street, located within the city limits. This is a second reading, so we will vote tonight. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas LD Jury Renovations and Investments LLC, owner, has filed with the Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission an application for a zoning map amendment for .87 acres total located at 416 North Second Street. And whereas the property is currently zoned single-family residential and requesting zone change to Central Business District B2. And whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a public hearing on the requested zone change on March 15th, 2023, and in the course of which it received evidence and testimony from persons in favor of and opposed to the requested zone change. And whereas at the conclusion of the public hearing, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend that the zone change be granted. And whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission at its meeting adopted written findings of fact as to the zone change, and the issue is now before the Board of Commissioners for final determination. And whereas the Board of Commissioners believes it to be in the public interest that it adopts the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission in accordance with the findings of fact adopted by that body. Now, therefore, be it ordained that the Board of Commissioners does hereby adopt the recommendation of the Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission as to the requested zone change. The property in question, located in Richmond, Madison County, Kentucky, to which the zone change shall apply, is .87 acres, deed book 758, page number 561. The Board of Commissioners does hereby adopt the written findings of fact adopted by the Planning and Zoning Commission as its findings of fact. In accordance with those findings, the zoning of said property shall be, and hereby is, changed from R1C to B2. The Director of Planning and Zoning shall make the appropriate changes to the official map of the City of Richmond, Kentucky. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon enactment, following second reading and publication in accordance with the requirements of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, sir. That's ordinance 23-15. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion, and as we vote, this time for approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Newby, is there any discussion, anything to be added, Mr. City Manager, to our consideration tonight? None? Questions, comments? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goebel,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Ordinance 23-16. Ordinance of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, amending the city's development ordinance relating to solar energy systems. This, too, is a second reading. We will vote tonight. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas the city's Planning and Zoning Board was asked to consider the zoning classification of solar energy systems and text amendment regulations as it is currently an unclassified use in the development ordinance. And whereas the city's Planning and Zoning Commission has recommended that the development ordinance be amended to include newly promulgated regulations for all solar energy systems, and the solar be conditional use in R1, R2, R3, B1, B2, B3, I1, and I2. And whereas the Board of Commissioners finds it to be in the public interest that the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Commission be enacted, now therefore be it ordained that the city's development ordinance be and hereby is modified in the particulars noted in the attachment below and incorporated hereforth set forth in full. And what follows is the text amendment and all the regulations for the solar energy systems. In summary, Mayor.
heard the reading and summary of ordinance 23-16. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Goble. Is there any discussion from the commission?
Mayor, I believe the request was given to each member. There was a request from the company Acciona that actually brought this forward, and we have a representative from the company, and they had asked for a postponement. This is a second reading. It's entirely in the purview of the board.
Am I in order, Mr. Attorney, to ask for reason? Mr. City Manager, is that appropriate? Since it is our second reading and time to vote. If you don't mind, please, and you'll give the clerk, please, your name.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Rebecca Price on behalf of Acciona. Acciona requested postponement because frankly, the folks who have been working on this with the Planning and Zoning Commission were unable to be here tonight. And so they asked for a postponement to May 23rd when their representatives who have been working on this could be in attendance.
Mr. Attorney, what does that mean if should we postpone tonight, please, sir?
It would simply be tabling what's before you and bringing it up at the next meeting, untabling it.
Do we
And
have
it's
to go
entirely
back
in
through?
your, I apologize.
Sorry, do we have to go back through the developmental ordinance and
Oh, no, sir.
we just,
No, sir. They're asking for a postponement to the next meeting, but it's entirely in your purview to move forward now if you wish.
why? I mean, what is the reason why we need to postpone it?
She said because the persons involved couldn't be here, but I would ask why again, considering the importance of tonight's consideration.
Right. I think per the letter that was submitted by Mr. Osterloh, I believe that Acciona was not aware of the first reading that it was taking place. And so now that this is the second, they would ask for a postponement and with the request to potentially present more information or do a work session or whatever the commission would so choose on this matter.
Mayor, it's our recommendation that we move forward with a vote on this. This has been fully vetted at the planning and zoning level, and you all have been made aware of it for some time now. So it's a recommendation from us that we move forward with it.
Concur? No. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fully understood. With that in mind, are we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. You can please inform them. Ordinance 23-17, ordinance of the City of Richmond amending the ARPA budget for the City of Richmond for the fiscal year 2023, estimating revenues and resources, and appropriating funds for the operations of city government. This too is a second reading. Mr. City Manager, and I don't see.
Sharon's not with
Director
us, so I'll facilitate
All
it
right,
tonight, Mayor.
City Manager, please.
Whereas a budget proposal has been prepared and delivered to the City Commission, and whereas the City Commission has reviewed the amended budget proposal and necessary modifications have been completed as recommended, now therefore be ordained by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the amended ARPA fund budget for fiscal year July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023 is hereby presented as follows. Total resources for appropriation, $8,150,000. Total appropriations, $7,156,528. Total estimated fund balance, $993,472. The 2023 amended fiscal year ARPA budget is hereby approved as submitted. The amounts budgeted above are hereby appropriated to the accounts indicated for the 2023 fiscal year budget. The city clerk is hereby directed to publish a copy of the fiscal year 2023 ARPA budget ordinance in accordance with KRS 424-240. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon second reading and adoption and publication by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. This is the reading of ordinance 23-17. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for further discussion and for approval?
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer, is there any discussion?
The only change we made with this is we added some funding to the Armory Park project, so we wouldn't have to keep coming back and doing ARPA amended budgets when we have some change orders.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Ordinance 23-18, an ordinance of the City of Richmond relating to the fiscal year 2022 through 2023 annual budget and amendment thereof regarding Liberty Place. This is, again, a second reading. Madam Clerk, please.
And I need to recuse myself from the vote, so I'm going to leave the room. I serve on the board for Kentucky River Foothills, and I'm going to step out.
We don't go too far.
Yeah, it'll only take a second.
Whereas the City of Richmond has received unanticipated revenues from the Kentucky Department for Local Government for the Liberty Place program. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that Section 1, the annual budget for the fiscal year 22 through 23 is amended to increase receipts for the CDBG fund by $200,000 to include unanticipated revenues from the Kentucky Department for Local Government Office of Federal Grants. Increase budget expenditures by account, public services, $190,000, administration, $10,000. This order shall become effective immediately upon enactment following second reading and publication in accordance with the requirements of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, ma'am. That's ordinance 23-18. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for discussion and approval as it is a second reading?
So moved.
Second.
We're all.
Commissioner Goble and Commissioner Brewer. Is there any discussion? If there's anything further that we need to bring. There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. I would think in retrospect, Madam Parliamentarian, it probably would have been sufficient for her simply to abstain, wouldn't you think? Since the actual ordinance, the text is actually available anyway.
That's true, that's fine.
Just- Ordinance 23-19, an ordinance of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, declaring the city's intent to annex 204 Concord Road into city limits and referring the annexation to the Richmond Planning and Zoning for a zoning recommendation. This is a first reading. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas Dogs LLC, on behalf of Darrell Tate, Curtis Tate, and Patrick Tate, the owners of the properties described below, has requested consent to voluntarily annex into the city limits of said tract, hereinafter the property. And whereas the property is contiguous to the city's boundaries and is urban in character, and whereas no part of the property proposed to be annexed is included within the boundary of another incorporated city, and whereas the city is capable of providing, and in fact is providing, city services to the property, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of the City of Richmond, Kentucky finds it in the public interest that the property be annexed into the city limits. Now, therefore, be it ordained as follows, in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 81A of the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and City of Richmond, Kentucky does hereby express its intention to annex into the city limits that certain tract of property, more particularly prescribed below. Darrell Tate, Curtis Tate, Patrick Tate, by Through Dogs LLC, 59 acres plus or minus at 209 Concord Road, Richmond, Kentucky, deed book 594, page 493. This matter is hereby referred to the City of Richmond Planning and Zoning Commission for that body's recommendation as to the appropriate zoning classification. This ordinance shall be effective immediately upon adoption, following second reading and publication in accordance with the provisions of applicable Kentucky law.
Thank you, sir. This is the first reading of ordinance 23-19. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for discussion? Motion and second.
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer. Is there any discussion? And Mr. City Manager, or Mr. Attorney, how do we want to proceed here?
We have a representative from the developer here to answer any questions.
Good afternoon,
Yes, sir.
folks. Corey Isaacs Law Office, 306 West Main Street. I'm appearing here today on behalf of the purchaser who is here under the authority of the owners. The deed does call for 59 acres. However, we have attached a more recent survey, which is attached in Exhibit C of the application, which shows that it is 57 acres. And I do want to be very clear, Concord Road it's where my granny lives. This is not a Concord Road property. 911 did assert an address of Concord Road. However, it would be absolutely impossible for any effect to occur on Concord. If you look in Exhibit C of the application, you'll see the survey. Of the 57 acres, there's 15-ish of floodplain. The houses that are located adjacent, many of them have a walking bridge to and fro, just in the event that waters are raised and their cars can't go back and forth. So Concord is not going to be affected by this development in regards to traffic, in regards to flow, population density. We can't go down that far. So I think from that, basing off the deed's description of that 59-ish acres, we're going to lose 15 to floodplain, and that's an absolute. That leads us somewhere in the realm of 44 acres. If you reduce that by the 30% of infrastructure, we're really talking about a 30-ish, 35-ish acre development. And that development being on the north end of what's already established as the reserve. Many of you can reach back in memory when the reserve was approved and annexed in. There was an easement that was required by the city across the lands, which would be north of the tract that we're discussing. But between Judah Bear Lane and this tract is a very small sliver of land that belongs to, and I may be incorrect on this, the Renfros, I think, is who own it. But there's an easement already connected. Judah Bear has a stub. This is, for lack of a better term, phase 2 of the reserve. I think it was always contemplated, not only by this council, but by planning and zoning and the rest of the developments. We meet every element of the statute in which I'm required to meet and required to address. Every corner on the left and the south all touch Richmond properties. It would be very difficult for me to imagine a scenario where this wasn't urban in character. The developments that are coming in, this is just the second part of them. I'm happy to answer any question. My client is here. He's prepared to answer anything that you have. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like because we don't know how much land we have. There's a large pond that's located just a little bit north of center, and that's going to come into play. There's going to be a dirt, scenario here. However, the property itself, regardless of what zone, it became, it's urban in character. It meets every other requirement for you to consider it as an annexation.
To the members of the board, are there any questions or comments, any discussion?
I just am a little bit confused. You said it wasn't Concord Road, so how would you access the new development? Like, which road would you come in on?
Very fair. So as we go down Urban Road, you take your left into the reserve. There was an annexation. You know where the storage units are, right?
Yes, I did.
You pull in there. It was a Ramsey's development. That's what I'll call it. You go straight through the existing roadway, and there's a stub out. That's in preparation for this part. So it's already on the plat, on the minor plat for the reserve itself. There's a stub out to where that road currently ends. However, the plat is prepared for it to continue onto this track. And then if you would continue, on the imaginary road across this track, there's another stub out off Judah Bear, which it will continue to connect.
Okay, that's what confused me, because in my mind, I was thinking that's out there kind of behind Honda and behind that.
That,
That
we'll go
development.
that way, or off Irvin, the connectivity, the flow is far more appropriate. And in reality, you can't come off Concord. There's just too much water. That road is not capable of
Well, you
hosting
couldn't
that kind of
empty that
traffic.
traffic out on it anyway.
No, not at all, no.
But I know where you're talking.
Yeah, there's absolute a bottom there.
Right.
It's not appropriate for anything. It floods every year. I grew up out there, it floods.
That's Curtis and them, they let us fish that pond before they get rid of it.
There you go.
Any further
If
questions?
we
comment,
dig it out and
discussion?
find an old fishing lure or two, I'll make sure it's returned home.
I left a few.
Mr. Brewer, I'll make sure it goes home.
All righty. If there's no further discussion, thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you all for
Hutchins.
your consideration.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Order 23-70, an order of the City of Richmond adopting the 2022 Madison County, City of Richmond, City of Berea Hazard Mitigation Plan. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000, Public Law 106-390, reinforces the importance of pre-disaster infrastructure mitigation planning to reduce disaster losses nationwide. And whereas the mitigation plan provisions outlined in Section 322 of the Act establish performance-based standards for the plan and requires states to develop county and city government plans. And whereas the collaborative effort between the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management, Bluegrass Ad, has resulted in the development of the Madison County Richmond Berea Plan, measures and goals and objectives, thus fulfilling the stipulation of the DMA 2000. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the approval of the attached Madison County Richmond Berea Hazard Mitigation Plan measures and goals as the official plan pending FEMA approval. This order shall be in full force and effect upon a reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-70. May we have a motion, please, to bring the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Second.
Cole, Commissioner Newby, is there any discussion?
Mayor, we have Chief Gray with us tonight that led the way on this, if anybody has any questions. Put him on the spot.
I saw you out there. Welcome, sir.
Thank you all for having me. Anybody have any questions over the mitigation plan, which some of you were participants in this when we went through it and redid it,
Yeah.
along with your emergency services, the counties and city of Berea's. It's a really good plan. It's better be prepared before it happens.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Any questions, comments, any discussion? Appreciate you being here.
Thank you all.
Come home anytime. Order 23-71,
Doug,
excuse me. We
let
haven't
me do
voted
roll
yet.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Order 23-71, an order of the City of Richmond promoting an employee to master police officer. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the City of Richmond has a policy of promoting police officers for the position of master, and whereas there's an officer that has successfully met those requirements and has submitted their application for consideration to this assignment, and whereas the city manager has recommended the promotion of this employee. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following employee in the police department is hereby promoted to master police officer effective payroll May 5th, 2023. The employee will be paid based on the fiscal year 22 through 23 approved pay scale, pay grade 4. Officer Coleman, start date 11/13/2017. This order shall be effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-71. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer, is there any discussion? Certainly, again, our congratulations for the use of that position. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Order 23-72, an order of the City of Richmond accepting the retirement by an employee in the police department. Hale. I said, no.
I know. Can we just say?
Reverend Josh
We're not voting.
Hale.
Let's not even read it.
Yeah, we're not even going to read it.
I tried to put him in the car the other day when he's passing in front of me. Speared him off.
Whereas Josh Hale, Police Department Major, has submitted his retirement notice to the city on April 21st. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners accepts the retirement of Josh Hale from the Police Department effective July 31st. The city would like to thank Mr. Hale for his service and dedication to the department since November 14th, 2003. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-72. May we have a motion, please, to bring it forward for discussion and approval?
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Goble.
It just seems like he's been here a long time, but then again, it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
He was very young when he came on board.
He came, yes, indeed. He came here as one of my
2003.
students
Yeah.
from the university. He was in the police corps. It's
Yeah.
called the Police Corps Program, and that's where we met. He has served us well, continues to serve us well, and will do so till that day of his retirement. Being no further discussion, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Certainly wish him well in his days to come. He'll find some things he's got. I think he's got a house full of girls that
Yeah.
will
He'll
keep
be
him
busy.
I think they're already planning that. Order 23-73, an order of the City of Richmond hiring 3 employees in the Public Works Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the Public Works Department is in need of additional full-time laborers, and whereas the position was advertised and interviews conducted, and whereas the city manager has recommended the hire for this position, now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following individuals are hired contingent upon their successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements as laborer for the Public Works Department, effective May 10th, 2023, pay grade 1. John Brown, Coleman Harrison, Sienna Smith. They are at-will employees and will serve a 1-year probationary period. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-73. May we have a motion, please, bring the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Goble. Is there any discussion?
Mayor, Commissioners,
sir.
this will get this department fully staffed until we get to item 17 on the agenda, and then there'll be one short.
For a few minutes anyway.
Yeah, that's right. You're full staff, Josh, for about 5 minutes.
About that. 3 steps
See you
forward
next
and
time.
1 step back. Yeah. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-74, order of the City of Richmond awarding a bid for a new playground at 220 Duncannon Lane property. Mr. City Manager, please.
Whereas the city wishes to continue the enhancement of city property at LaFontaine Early Learning Center, 2020 Duncannon Lane, with providing removal and replacement of the playground. And whereas bid specs were advertised April 15th, 2023, and 1 bid was submitted. And whereas the bid was reviewed and recommendation has been made and accepted let me back up. Whereas the bid has been reviewed and a recommendation has been made to accept the bid, now therefore be ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the bid for the playground replacement at 220 Duncannon Lane property is awarded to Bluegrass Recreational Sales of Danville, Kentucky, in the price of $39,728. Project will be paid for by the non-department budget, account number 1190-5430. The bid is attached to the order. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's order 23-74. May we have a motion, please, to bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Cole,
Second.
Commissioner Goble, is there any discussion, anything you want to add, Mr. City Manager?
Rob, does that include the playground surface as well?
It is a playground surface.
Okay.
It's actually become cracked and it's become dangerous to the
How long
children.
ago
So
was it that was
it's a
done?
poured-in-place playground surface that we replaced.
Great. That's good.
What was that, Commissioner Brewer? I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think when that was fixed before. I mean, it's been a long time.
It's not since I've been here in
Yeah.
5 years, so it's long
I
overdue.
think we were on the commission when we did that the first time.
Yeah. Looking for David Stipes here.
No,
That,
he just left.
that daycare center was made available because our industrial park.
Yes, I remember
I remember
that.
that.
Dropped their kids
That's
off
right.
and
Yes,
go to
and
work.
go to work.
Yep.
What a convenience, yeah.
I was stationed out there.
Yeah, so was I.
And number 5. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-75. Order of the City of Richmond awarding a bid for the Lake Reba softball lighting project. Mr. City Manager, please.
Whereas the city wishes to continue replace the lighting at the softball complex located at 299 Lake Reba Drive. Whereas bid specs were advertised on April 11th, 2023, and 3 bids were submitted. And whereas the bids were reviewed and a recommendation has been made to accept the best proposal, now therefore be ordered by the Richmond Board of Commissioners that the bid for the Lake Reba Field Lighting Project is awarded to Atkins and Stang Incorporated of Cincinnati, Ohio. Softball Field A, $19,850. Softball Field B, decided not to complete at this time. Softball Field C, $13,900, for a total of $33,750. Project will be paid for by the Parks Department account 4120-5430. The bid is attached to the order. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's order 23-75. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
I move.
Commissioner Newby,
Second.
Commissioner Brewer, is there any discussion?
So, Mayor, we have 3 adult softball fields at Lake Reba, and A and C have issues that are really safety issues with wiring and repairing. So we made those a priority to go ahead and repair. Softball Field B, which is the middle field, will get a complete replacement of lighting in the next budget cycle.
Is that for a year, you mean? For a year before you do B?
No, we'll do B July 1st. Once the new
Okay.
budget's approved, we'll move in and get it out and get it replaced as well.
I'm sorry I didn't look further back, but did the company bid Field B so that you have that already? Or?
They did. So I'm not sure how we'll back into that depending on the timeline. I'll consult with the attorney and city clerk and we'll figure out if we need to rebid that or we can use the bids we received.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-76, an order of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Richmond, Kentucky, extending the bidding period for the new city park project. Mr. Attorney, please.
Whereas the city is in the process of bidding out construction for its new park project located at the corner of Tates Creek Road and Goggins Lane. And whereas the city's procurement policy only allows up to 21 days for bidding of projects, and whereas the scope of the new park project necessitates the lengthening of the bidding period from 21 days to 60 days for companies to fully evaluate and accurately price the work. Now, therefore, be it ordered that the bidding period for the new park project is extended from 21 days to 60 days by the Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. That's Order 23-76. May we have a motion, please, that we'll bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Goble, is there any discussion?
Mayor, Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
This simply allows us to put our new park bid package out longer than our normal procurement regulations allow. And for a project this big and the scope of the work, we need at least 60 days for large contractors to get all their subcontractors together, bids together, and get them submitted. So for this one project is what we're doing it for.
That's a lot of moving parts, aren't there?
Yes, there is. And it's all coming together. Bids will go out June 8th, and they'll be due July 27th. And we hope to have this in front of you in August.
Thank you, sir. Tyler said it was like herding cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Order 23 thank you for the work on that, certainly. Where,
Vote.
for the vote?
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-77, an order of the City of Richmond accepting retirement by an employee in the Police Department, Covington. Madam Clerk, please.
Let's not read this one either, Mayor.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Whereas Jan Covington, Police Department Records Clerk, has submitted her retirement notice to the city on March 28th. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners accepts the retirement of Jan Covington from the Police Department effective July 31st. The city would like to thank Ms. Covington for her service and dedication to the department since March 15th, 2004. This order shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-77. May we have a motion, please, bring the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Cole. Is there any discussion other than that which you've already heard? This is another of those who's been with us a long time, has served us well, and certainly would hate to see her go, but
Chief, you gonna be okay back there?
I was going to say. I was going to say, you look a little sad tonight.
yes, yes. Further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Order 23-78. Order of the City of Richmond transferring and changing status of an employee from the Public Works Department to Recycle Department. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the recycle department workload continues to increase, the department is in need of additional staff in order to maintain services. And whereas a current city employee has requested a transfer and has interviewed for the position. And whereas the city manager has recommended that the transfer of this employee for this position. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that Cody Reinhardt is laterally transferred from Public Works laborer to Recycle Department as environmental technician, effective May 15th, 2023. Pay grade 2, the employee will serve a 1-year probationary period. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's Order 23-78. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion and approval?
So moved.
Commissioner Goble,
Second.
Commissioner Newby. Is there any discussion?
Recycling is fully staffed now, but now the road department isn't fully staffed.
You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, huh?
Sorry, Josh. Short-lived.
Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. Order 23-79, an order of the City of Richmond establishing a procurement policy for the City of Richmond, Community Development Block Grant Funds. Madam Clerk, please.
Whereas the Commonwealth of Kentucky on March 17, 1978 adopted a procurement code for local governments and subdivisions of local governments within the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And whereas the Kentucky Procurement Code became effective January 1st, 1980, and required an adoption of a local procurement code for each local government or subdivision of local government within the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And whereas the code increased from 20,000 to 30,000 effective July 15th, 2010, and requires an adoption to increase in local procurement codes for each local government in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And whereas Kentucky is in contracts between local unit governments and the United States of America requires that this procurement of all services and materials be undertaken in covenants with the common rule and federal management. And whereas the City of Richmond was evaluated the requirements and both state law and federal rules and regulations, now therefore be resolved by the City of Richmond that the local procurement policy for the CDBG is attached hereto for small purchases of $30,000 or less, and procurement procedures for services and materials and the value in excess of $30,000 is hereby approved. The policy established herein with the CDBG program shall become effective immediately. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's order 23-79. May a motion please bring to the floor for discussion and approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Brewer,
Second.
Commissioner Newby. Is there any discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. May we have a motion, please, to amend the agenda to include order 23-80?
I move.
Commissioner Brewer, excuse me, Commissioner.
And I'll second Newby.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Newby, Commissioner.
Maybe we should bring
Brewer.
that kid back in here and let him take over.
I think it was coming in this ear.
Okay.
So we don't look right.
Let's see.
Okay.
Madam
Commissioner-
Clerk, please,
Yep.
yeah.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, that's to amend the agenda.
Yes.
Now, Madam Clerk, please, order 23-80.
An order of the City of Richmond promoting employees in the fire department, whereas there are qualified employees in the fire department that have completed the required testing and training for the positions of firefighter 2, and whereas the fire chief has made a recommendation for these promotions. Now therefore be it ordered by the City of Richmond Board of Commissioners that the following fire department employees are hereby promoted to firefighter 2, effective May 12, 2023, based on the fiscal year 22 through 23 pay scale, pay grade 3. Daniel Winkler, date of hire 2/13/2019. Jackson Pierce, date of hire is January 18, 2022. Jonathan Blackburn, date of hire is also January 18th of 2022. This order shall be in full force and effect upon reading and adoption by the Richmond City Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We've heard the reading of order 23-80. May we have a motion, please, bring to the floor for discussion and approval.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Brewer and Commissioner Newby. Is there any discussion? Curiosity, Chief, how's your staffing? You feel good, good. And busy too, I notice. Yeah, appreciate what you do. No further discussion, Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. This is the public comments period. Is there anyone who's come tonight who wishes to address the commission from the public? All right, there being no one. Mr. City Manager, do we have any departments to report tonight?
We do. We have Elizabeth Foster with the Parks Department. Elizabeth is one of our rising stars and very motivated, meticulous with details. And she, when it comes to the Millstone Festival and other programming, she snaps us in line and puts us to work. She's awesome, but she's going to give us a report tonight. Come on up, Elizabeth. I pumped you up pretty good here, so you're gonna have to perform.
I gave you guys a ton of paperwork, but it's just a bunch of flyers of stuff that's coming up. We're really gearing up for summer. It's definitely our busy season. Tonight was our last night of our teen center for this semester. We gave out some pool passes to those that had attended a lot, so that was really exciting. As I mentioned earlier, our Kids to Park Day will be on the 20th of May. And then the pool will open on May 27th, which is the Saturday of Memorial Weekend. I think I've killed Althea, giving her all of the fun hiring stuff to do. The following weekend, on June 3rd, is Free Fishing Weekend for the state of Kentucky, and we always do a fishing derby that weekend, and we work with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife to make that happen. We are doing Tasty Tuesdays still. If you're out of here in the next little bit, you'll still be able to stop by and get stuff. We're doing that every week except July 4th week because it is on July 4th, all the way to September. Summer camp is starting the first week of June, June 5th, and we're doing every week except the July 4th week again. It'll run till the first week of August. And then on June 14th, we're going to start our park and plays that are on each Wednesday. Those are at a variety of our parks that kind of, Lauren goes out and tries to do activities with different age groups. On the 23rd of June, we're doing Sweet Home Alabama at Irvin McDowell. So if you want to come watch a classic, come hang out with us. And then on June 30th, we will be doing a free swim at the pool from 4 to 7 p.m. And then our July 4th celebration will be on July 4th. That's just a quick rundown of our summer.
The pool opens the Friday before Memorial Day, the
It's the
26th?
Saturday, so the 27th.
Saturday?
Yep,
Okay.
May 27th, yep.
Gotcha.
And me and Aaron will both be out there pretty much the whole weekend, so come see us if you're bored. Have any questions or needs to know about our upcoming stuff? Good.
Thank you so much.
No
Elizabeth.
problem.
4th of July is a Tuesday this year, is it that?
Yeah.
You know what the third is, don't
Monday.
4th of July is the 30th.
you? What's the third?
It's Commissioner Brewer's 70th birthday.
Oh, there you go. I was like,
That's why we moved the fireworks to that Monday the 3rd.
That's
They
why
will
the
actually be on
fireworks.
the 4th.
Are there any other departments?
You gonna
to
blow out
report
70
tonight?
No, sir.
candles?
None? All right, Mr. City Manager, please.
I don't think I have anything for the group tonight, thank you. I sent you a long email yesterday, so.
Thank you, sir, for that. And also,
News you can use.
Commissioner Goebel?
I was just going to say, due to that report, and it's just exciting times when there's a lot of things going on. If you've been in Rob's office like we all have lately, there's a huge whiteboard that has like 50 projects on it. And so it's exciting to see all the things that are going on and all the work that's being done and so many good things that we're working on right now.
Thank you. Commissioner Newby?
Well, I just want to give a quick prop to all our city employees. You know, I know a lot of times we praise the police, the fire, and the street, and it's all well-deserved. But, you know, there's like 12 or so more apartments, and all these departments make the city go around. And I guess I have more of a kinship, I guess, because I was one for 10 years, and I always make it a point to go around and talk to everybody as much as I can during lunch, after weekends. Met with one individual, gosh, last week, 4 a.m. in Myers parking lot to discuss some issues. So I just want to let everybody know, city employees know that the elected officials, we welcome you and encourage you to talk to us. And if anyone has ever told you anything different, they lied to you. So, I mean, that's from my opinion. How does everybody else feel? Is everybody comfortable with talking with the employees?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Cole?
Well, Jim's a hard act to follow over here, but I'll do my best. I just want to make everyone aware that if you do want to get in touch with us, I know I'll run into somebody at the grocery store or something. They're like, I had a good idea to share with you, but I didn't have any idea how to get in touch with you. So we're actually really easy to get in touch with on the website, the official City of Richmond website. Each of us have our information on there, how to contact us. So, we get a lot of good ideas from people that live in our community, and I still say, it takes a village to make Richmond the best that it can possibly be. So if you have ideas, if you have information at any time, please know that it's not a bother in any way. We are your elected officials, and I personally consider it an honor when someone reaches out to me to share some information, an idea that they have, or, just to kind of bounce ideas around. So best way to get in touch with us is the city website, and our cell phones are on there, so you can send a text, you can call us, whatever is most convenient. But I always appreciate people that reach out to us, and as usual, I always give a plug for those people that take the time out of their schedule to come to our meetings and participate in city government, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Brewer?
I had mentioned this back, 3 weeks ago about, since we have our groups like our social worker with the police department and Madison Homes and the, help me, I lost my. Enrich. We need to maybe get together as that group together and go talk to some of the homeless people that we have out here and some of the people that are fighting to stay off drugs, and tell them that we're available. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you. And, that's what we set this up for in the first place. That's why we got this together, so we could find these people and help them out.
That's a great idea, and we can facilitate that with Madison Home and Enrich with Dan and Kirsten. And
Yeah.
I noticed Madison Home had a annual get-together, I think it was this week or last week, over the weekend, and they actually had 3 people that were homeless at one time, that they've actually got them into jobs and got them places
That's
to
awesome.
live, and, abuse support, so that's encouraging to me.
Very much.
So I think that's an awesome idea for the elected officials to
Well,
engage with
one of
that.
us can go each time if
Yeah.
we do this, and
They're actually looking for some help on another night at the Madison Home.
Yeah.
So someone has called me. I haven't talked to you guys yet, but it was just recent. So just something to think about.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
a great
We
idea.
could actually be the
Engage.
ones, or, our families or whatever that could help. So,
And one thing, I went to EKU spring game, and they're quick. That's the fastest
Good.
outbacks or receivers I've ever seen at EKU. And they're young, but man, can they fly. It's going to be an exciting season with them. And that's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Just something really quickly, Commissioner Newby alluded to a letter, but it's nice to know, and it was to the police department, from a couple that style themselves as octogenarians in distress. And, but they pointed out that AAA, they called AAA, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, called AAA, AAA came, but they were accompanied by a couple of our police officers. And these folks were so impressed, and they just wanted everyone to know. And Chief, I imagine you've already gotten the letter, but just an observation. All of our departments are just exceptional. And they slept in the parking lot of Costco waiting for the tire section to open up the next morning. So, but they said they really felt safe while they were here, and even there because it was a well-lighted parking lot. So just, we get those from most of our departments, and we want to be sure to say thanks to all of them, even those over here that take our money, but we thank them. All right, let's see, one other thing, of course, Tasty Tuesdays, that's why I keep looking. moves. Walmart last Friday had its grand reopening, something corporate requires them or allows them to totally redo their stores periodically, and you shared with them for a little while. There are those employees who've been with them forever. There have been some employees who've been over 30 years with them. They've moved, 4 different places here in town, and but it was just a wonderful celebration.
You remember when it was Big K?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Where the Hobby Lobby was?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Go to
indeed.
Big K, then go to the movies, run back and forth to the arcades.
Yeah.
But yes, indeed.
Y'all are
They
old.
were out where the Peddler's Mall is
Just
now.
kidding.
But just
I just
a
didn't
wonderful
live here then.
celebration. Some great people there. And this store, just like the Intersys folks, this store here in Richmond, let's see, it's the 4th busiest in the state, I believe, in business volume. Okay. Let's see here. May we have a motion, please, that according to KRS 61.810 subsection 1 sub F regarding personnel, we will go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Cole, Commissioner Newby. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Newby?
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cole?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Mayor Blythe?
Yes, thank you. We have completed, I think, all the business for anyone who wants to stay for just a few more minutes. They do so.
except for these two hips.
Let's see. Now, Mike,
Yes, sir.
Did Gus send you one of those too?
Yes.
I like Gus. He's in the, he's in the, he's a good guy. He was, when I was getting my ankle surgery, he was getting sneezed at the same time. Yeah, I prefer my ankle surgery, to be honest with you, over that. Yeah, but he's a really good guy. He does good things.
everybody's back. May we have a motion, please, to come out of executive session and go back into regular session?
Yes, so moved.
No
Second.
action having been taken. Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Newby. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble, Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you. Is there any further business to be discussed? Mr. City Manager, Mr. Attorney, anything else, Madam Clerk? None. If all hearts and minds are clear, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
A move.
Second.
Commissioner Newby and Commissioner Cole. Madam Clerk, please.
Commissioner Cole,
Yes.
Commissioner Goble,
Yes.
Commissioner Newby,
Yes.
Commissioner Brewer,
Yes.
Mayor Blythe.
Yes, thank you, and thanks to all of you. Let's see here.